you already had 2 experiences coaching in the SEC, right? At Alabama and at Tennessee.
Yep.
How's it been different here at Ole Miss? Because some people call it the Yale of Mississippi, kind of.
Well, I think I was, as you mentioned, the head coach of Tennessee, then the offensive coordinator at Alabama. So spent some time there, and those programs really over a long period of time had won a lot of games. Alabama, unbelievable championship runs. Coach Saban, probably a decade there that's never going to be done ever again.
Yeah. Too many wins, I think, for a school. Not good for them at a certain point, but
onward. Not good for a competitive environment throughout the conference when he was taking all the players and winning all the games. No. And Ole Miss had been down.
Right.
Somebody said a stat the other day, in the last 4 years. So the seniors in college here, it's been a cool experience for them. They saw a national championship in baseball. They just saw both basketball teams go to the Sweet 16. And in 4 years of football here, we've had 3 top 12 finishes. Well, they only had 1 in the previous 51 years.
Wow.
So there's been 4 in 55 years. They've seen 3 of the 4. So the difference, obviously, in the programs was different, but I really liked that. It was like a challenge because you can come in at the top of a place that's kind of always won, and then you win. It's like, okay, versus, wow, let's change what's happened. Let's create a new winning culture, a new way of thinking in how the locker room and the whole university thinks about football and the program. And so we've raised the expectations to where we won 10 games and people are upset around here,
Right.
And so
yeah, that's a different energy. You guys were 13 points away from 13 more points and you guys are undefeated last year. 13 total. Well, you need 3 to win. So 16 more points last year and you guys would have been undefeated. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, we played 13 games. 10 of them we won by double digits. And then the 3 losses were all 1-score games right at the end of the game.
What's kind of different between coaching in the Pac-10 or I think it's the Pac-12 or something now? Everybody keeps kind of changing their names. But
I don't think it exists anymore. It's Pac-2 now.
Yeah, Pac-2.
Yeah, it was 8 at one point. Then it was 10. Then it was 12. And
some of those teams should not have been in there.
And now there's 2. Okay. Everybody else left.
What was it like? What do you notice different between coaching in the Pac, a different conference as opposed to the SEC? You coached at FAU, you coached at, you coached in the Pac-10 to 12, 8. What's the difference, you think?
Yeah. There's a saying in the SEC day coin, it just means more. And it really does. The passion in the towns for the football programs, the attention on it, and really the play over time has been dominant. The SEC's had more draft picks, more championships, all those things. It's just different. It's a way of life down here.
Oh, yeah. You let people that can't even read but they're just yelling, "Go Dogs." I feel if somebody come out of a coma and be like, "Go Dogs" or something,
Yeah.
Or somebody come out of a coma and be like, "Huddy, huddy," and then just pass away. People's last words, baby's first words. There's 30 videos of baby's first words being SEC chants or whatever. It's a lot.
I was the head coach at USC. You spend time out in LA. So it's just a different world out there. And I remember I was walking through campus and I was like, man, I bet 50, 70% of these students have no idea who I am. I'm the head coach of the football team. They got no idea who I am. They're going to school at USC, getting their education.
Yeah.
And here that 100% know who you are. The little kids, you go to walk downtown and a 4-year-old's Coach Kiffin. They know who you are. So it's
they'll complain about your play
for
calling.
people that haven't been down here, maybe that makes sense to them, to understand that.
Yeah.
You don't go anywhere without everybody knowing who you are, but also that too. Kid will be they're 8-year-old kid, maybe not 4. They just say,
"Go to hell, Kiffin."
But 8-year-old.
We've
been winning, so don't say that. But that'll happen as soon as we lose a couple.
Yeah.
But no, they do. They'll be like, "Coach, man, what about throwing that tight end on the in route?" I'm like, "You're 8. How do you know that?" I'm like,
it's 11 a.m. What are you doing at this cafe? You should be in school. You should easily, obviously, you're truant. But it's a lot more intense in the South. It's just, it's.
Yeah, they're like, "Coach, you're 3 for 14 on third downs." I'm like, I didn't even know that. And they do. But it just means more, the passion for it. And it's also why it's so awesome too. It's why the stadiums are the way that they are. The electricity before games as people walk into the stadiums. Like, it's just different. It's awesome.
I love that. Yeah, because you guys have a walk. I mean, I think a couple of teams do a walk now. Do people ever try and tickle you or whatever when you walk by? That's crazy. That's something.
Well, I like moved. This happened at Tennessee and then here. And maybe this isn't like the best thing, but I like moved it a little wider. Like they didn't have like barricades on the walk.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, well, it's great, man. The fans are like, you interact with them. I'm like, well, this walk is like a half mile. Like you're walking through like 40,000 people.
Yeah.
You know, and like you got to wear a suit and everything. And then like they're like grabbing you and everything. And so like, I moved the barricades
people,
a little.
petting adults.
Yeah, like a little wider. Plus, I mean, we are in the deep South. So there's a lot of great things. But I mean, there's just some different things too now. Yeah. You know, they're like grabbing you and they got chew spit on their hand and stuff.
With me. Yeah,
like,
I've never hugged
like,
a man. People just yelling stuff like, yeah, there's a lot
and
of.
It's like, whoa, can we like move these just back a little bit? Maybe I can just do the wave.
Yeah.
You know, hey guys, good to see you.
Put the defensive tackles along the outside. The SEC has historic venues, right? And a lot of like, one thing that's interesting about the SEC is you'll have people that didn't go to college, but they will show up at the games as if it's their school. And that doesn't happen like in as many other places. It just does not happen.
Yeah.
You have people who can't read, people who can't see, but they'll show up and watch a game somehow. And you don't see that in other conferences.
So that totally happens. And I remember, so my first taste of the South was going to Tennessee as the head coach.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm coming from, I was the head coach of the Oakland Raiders, and then I've been at USC before this. So I'm like coming from California to like Tennessee. And I remember I'm like, there's a lot of people. They have a spring game. There's like 70,000 people here at the spring game, like 50,000 there 2 hours before. And they're like, yeah, at the big games, like the thing will sell out. Then there'll be another 20,000 outside. And I'm like, I went to school here. I'm like, no,
don't get it.
No.
Yeah.
And then when I went to Alabama, the same thing. They're like, no, half these people didn't go to school here. They lived in the state at one point. So it's their team. It's not because they went to school there. And like their passion is unbelievable. And I'm like, wait, you didn't even go to school here? No. But
I didn't go to school at all. So.
But my daddy knew somebody that did.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait, your dad went? No, he didn't either.
No,
so
didn't.
No one in your family ever went.
No, sir.
To Alabama.
No, sir.
But you like your whole week, your whole year is affected whether they win or lose. Like just angry the rest of the year, whether they win or lose that like Alabama Tennessee game.
Yes,
like
sir.
That's it.
Yes, sir.
But it doesn't impact you like your job. Do you work for it? No.
I don't work, sir. But I cheer for the Tide. I mean, they got that one guy that Roll Tide Willie now, and he was in the military with my dad's buddy. But what's one of the most aggravating traditions that you think, and what's one of the best traditions you think in college football? If you're even up on them. I know there's a ton of them out there.
Well, this is like a big tradition, like as far as everywhere, not specific places. Like I love the band thing, before, like it's just really cool when they have the band out there and they spell things. Speaking of the Tennessee, the opening of the T and then run out, like that was really cool to like see. You're like right there and then like the band just opens up the T and you run out. Like that's a really cool tradition.
And is there one that's kind of aggravating that you see at a place somewhere? It could be SEC or anywhere.
The fan storming thing is a little bit tough. Like they don't do it in the NFL. They found a way. Like I get it. It's pretty cool. But then it can be aggravating because like they're storming and like, then you're worried about like them hitting you. What's going on? What are they going to do? It's like very invasive at that point. But I think like if they could just let everybody out and then let the fans on so they still get to tear the goalpost down because that stuff's cool and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I was at the Alabama Vanderbilt game, and that was pretty sick. And some guy on the sideline squeezed me so hard, bruised one of my ribs really bad or dislocated it, right? So I was like, doing like that or whatever. And then every other player kept hugging me. So it was just one after the other, just the biggest guys you ever even seen just hugging you.
Yeah, they're all excited.
Yeah, and it was just, dude. That was a really tough day. That was a tough year, actually. That took about 8 weeks to get better from.
Yeah, but you were at a historic like moment.
It was so cool.
That will probably never happen ever again.
I mean,
it's a once in a lifetime.
Well, Diego Pavia got that 6th year, that 8th year, I think he got.
Yeah, you never know.
Did that, were you surprised when he got that? Or did it affect any of the way that, were your players able to apply for anything like that?
We tried. We didn't win it. Jack Starr actually tried to get another year, or at least see if the option was there. And, they denied it. But
yeah, there we are. We iced that dude up. Clark Lee.
Good dude.
I love Clark.
Yeah.
He
Old
is.
School, good guy.
They got a fun group over there. And that's kind of underdog energy over there too,
Big time.
Is there an SEC team that you also cheer for on the low kind of?
Them. I do. Yeah, Vanderbilt. Because I think they have like so much stacked against them, like they got higher academic qualifications to get guys in, so they can't just get all the players everybody else can, harder, because the stadium's usually half full and stuff. So I root for them, especially Clark, because that's a hard job.
Yeah.
And so that's pretty cool for them to win like they did this year.
Yeah, it's exciting over there. Yeah, they carry the goalpost and then they try to valet park the goalpost. I heard they got tired of it or whatever.
I didn't know that.
And they try to valet them at a restaurant. I'm like, you can't, who are you going to give it to those 3 guys up front or whatever? Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, but that might be the only like SEC town that has valet.
That's a good, that's
like when you say that doesn't fit. There ain't no valet in most of these towns. Valet.
That's a great point, dude.
You just spell valet.
Yeah, they tried to valet them at a, I think at a McCormick and Schmick's or something over there. So definitely kind of interesting. What's your favorite place to play, do you think, in the SEC outside of Vaught Hemingway?
Well, I don't know about favorite, because favorite would be like
Anarchal, right? It's Anarchal for you guys.
Yeah, like favorite might be somewhere really easy. Like, no, the most intense places.
Yeah, or just which one do you get out there and you're like, man, this is freaking majestic. How about that? Let's use that word.
This is why you have like such a different audience of like so many different areas of stuff, because like you use big words too.
Oh,
yeah, you're educated.
Majestic. MUH.
Majestic place.
No, yeah. What's a big
Neyland Stadium in Tennessee is like amazing. Like it's just like when we would bring recruits there, it is majestic. Like there you go. Like, and then at night, and then there's the river and the boats, and then the intensity in there. So I was the head coach here at Ole Miss, and we went to play at Tennessee, and it was like on from warm-ups. Like everyone was there, over 100,000 people, and there was like this hatred towards me. Like I felt like the Gladiator, the movie, like they were getting ready for like a thumbs down, like let's kill him.
Yeah.
And then
and it's probably 12,000 people are carrying weapons in there at that time.
They had a real conversation with me during the week about bulletproof vests. Like, but again, I'm like, there's no way, guys. Come on, man. It's football. And they had like 3 cops with me and everything. Like,
they're like, it's deer season, sir.
Like, they ain't going to really do that. Maybe like a golf ball, they're going to throw at me, or a bottle or something.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So then I was walking in and I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Like now I could feel.
Ooh.
Yeah. They were like chanting like, like fuck Lane Kiffin. Yeah. And like that was actually like felt kind of like intense and cool. Like 100,000 people chanting that.
Oh yeah. If a bunch of people hate you at once, it's easier to go. It's easier to digest.
And then they're like, the student section was like, hey, last night we were with your wife. And I was like, man, that's pretty funny. Like to come up with stuff, like, so it was intense, and it was like, and it just kept building. So maybe like everybody didn't hate me at the beginning, but then, it's like a crowd, like storm, they feel it. And then the hatred just kept building. And then it was like really close game at the end. And then we won.
You guys won?
Yeah. And then they got pissed and they like threw things at me, like golf ball.
Oh,
and like anything they could get, like mustard.
And school books, which we need in Tennessee, first of all.
They didn't have school books.
Oh, okay.
No. Mustard bottles.
Oh, really?
Like, how do you even have a mustard bottle? Like, you just brought that to the game? Like, hey, hon, we're going to like go to the game and sneak the mustard bottle in.
Oh, you're in the damn condiment belt over there
in
Tennessee,
mustard
brother.
free? Like,
I don't know.
like, are you saving money?
Oh, you should see where they keep their relish at, brother.
And the golf, like, and I was like, they throw this golf ball that became famous that like they throw at me, and I'm like, afterwards, I'm like, okay, mustard, like, okay, what am I sneaking in to the game? A golf ball, like, what do you have a golf ball for? Like, I'm carrying a golf ball Because I don't think they're thinking I'm going to throw it. Like, I'm going to be pissed off in the fourth quarter and throw it.
Right. They just had it on them.
Yeah, but then I look closer, it was a range ball. So I feel like, you know what it was? It's like the cheap guy that like steals the range ball. So like, okay, this way I had to like have these to hit, like, you know, instead of like having to buy a golf ball. So I'm going to steal the range ball like for next time I go and play around. So it was just in his pocket. That was my guess.
I think that's probably accurate. Oh, there you are right there with it. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Did you keep that?
Yeah.
You still have it?
I did.
Hell yeah, dude. That's cool. How scary is it? How quick do you want to get off the field when you beat a team in their stadium? Is there a weird energy there for a little? Like, is it kind of?
That one was, yeah. Yeah, that one definitely was. Most of the time, it's not really. Sometimes I kind of like it, you know, like kind of walk off a little slow, you know, just so like you feel the like that win that you just like ruined 100,000 people's like, especially in the SEC, like week, not just day.
Oh yeah, their traffic home. Yeah, that's a lot, and especially a woman who was going to give birth that week because her husband would be in a good mood, and now she's got to hold it another week. That's the toughest part.
Like, hey, we cannot have, we lost this week.
Yeah, we ain't having a baby under these circumstances.
You keep it in there.
Yeah. Hold the line.
Yeah, we got Bama next week. We win that. You can have it Saturday night.
We'll get that thing out.